Okay, in this video I'm going to explain this 6x6 full flush cave trapdoor that I finished recently. It is only 576 blocks, making it currently the smallest design. So it shapes one block each side, like all of these four sides, from the previous 784 block record. It has an intense density of 89.4% after minor simplifications. So I suggest go watch the tutorial first to get a better understanding of this door. Before I get into the explanation, I want to mention a couple of things. In the tutorial, I placed these two observers, so this here and this here. These two observers that basically power the pistons here and here. Uh, to update the burnout, and like both of these burnouts, and I found out that these two observers are actually not necessary at all. They can be removed. So yeah. Another thing is the sides. So I intentionally use obsidian and redstone blocks to butt these droppers, and it is actually also unnecessary. The side double will actually automatically butt itself, but you know, it doesn't really affect anything. It's just more for work, I guess. But yeah, it does. You don't really have to do that. But yeah, just let you know. And finally, I'm going to give you some extra context of the store. So I actually started working on this store since mid 2020, but I didn't get much progress on it and eventually stopped working. After discovering the fold double trick from my 6x6 cave door, can also be used in this trapdoor. So you can see this sort of setup here. This is actually quite similar, or you can see it clearly here. So after discovering this, I picked up the project back on like uh, 8th of January and finished it on 10th of January midnight. And it took me approximately 28 working hours to finish it. This is also my first proper trapdoor, so I'm glad that is a world record, and as I have no experience in making trapdoors whatsoever. Excuse me if I don't sound natural, as I'm referring to a script like my last explanation video. Without further ado, I will explain the layout of the trapdoor first. So I guess maybe I'll do that first. Yep, there we go. So this is the layout, which looks quite complex actually. What's special about this door is that instead of simply flipping half of the door to the other side, like how I did in my 6x6 cave, 7x7 cave, or actually not really 7x7 cave because the top, but yeah, yes. So instead of flipping half of the door to the other side, this layout is actually rotated 180 degrees. So if you see here, this piston, if we were to flip it, then it should be on this side, but it's not. And this observer here, and these two sticky pistons, they're actually diagonal. Like, see here, so it's rotated 180 degrees. The reason for that is because of these two normal pistons. So this here and this here. For the sliders, for this lime triple, uh, as you can see, the normal pistons always have this sticky piston on top for the folded double. So, uh, yeah, you can see this is the folded double. You can ignore this single, I guess. But yeah, this is the folded double. So, so it's both on this here and this here. So it will always have a sticky piston on top. and butts are definitely a concern. So it's actually not that hard to get around it, but it will affect the inputs for the sides actually. So if we simply have the layout flipped, what would happen is that the side with like two normal pistons, like for example maybe here and here, will actually uh, like this one of the sides with two normal pistons, so this piston and that piston, will actually have no inputs to power the sides whatsoever. Uh, so I guess it's quite abstract to see it from here. So we can see it from here, like from the door here. So as you can see, this spot right here have to be used just to prevent the butting of the normal piston, as you know, we cannot power this normal piston during the closing nor too early in the opening, and that's why the layer is rotated, because like we need to have this dust here to power only the top, not the bottom. And you can see that the sides here, well, not really the sides, actually this here still. So you can see here, it actually already occupies the side, like the space to power the sides. So we need to have at least one input to power this, like one input, yeah, input block to power the sides. And that's why the door is rotated, like the layout is rotated, not flipped, uh, just to have the sides to have inputs to power it. Another thing you might notice from the tutorial uh, is that this piston is a sticky piston, or actually this piston and this piston, they're both sticky, not normal. This is because of the folded double extender as well. And contrary to popular belief, this is actually simpler to wire it this way. I'll explain it later for more details. But before explaining different parts of the door, it will be better for me to explain the sequence of the door first, which is perhaps the most important part of the door. So the sequence for this door is rather special, as the door is basically divided into two parts, uh, diagonally actually. So if you were to see the animation here, you can see that this side and this here is retracts first, and then these two will retract. So yeah, that's what I mean of this side. Sorry, two parts. So each part consists of one slime triple and one of the sides. The working principle is basically the same for both parts. So let me grab a wrist block. So first, like I'm just going to show you one side, I guess, because you know the working principle is the same. First, this person extends this block. This isn't really important for the closing, but it will be useful for the opening. Then this piston, uh, yeah, correct. This piston will retract the block for the folded double to like extend the piston, obviously. And this piston will do a two-tick. Well, not exactly a two-tick, but we can consider that as a two-tick, as to refer to the piston extending and retracting the block. So yeah, this is done such that this observer can push out, because later this observer will push out uh, without pushing the wall block, because you know, if the observer pushes out and the wall block also follows and pushes out, then we have no way to retract this block. So yeah, this is just to push the block such that the observer can move out without pushing the wall block. So now this line triple extends. So hang on, because I need to get more stuff to power it. Oh, no. For demonstration purposes. And then observers, please, thanks. Okay. Oh, my mouse is working out. Anyways. So, yep, this is correct. So, these two pistons have to fire at the same time to work. So, yeah, that's why I'm adding this temporary circuit. So, so okay, so I guess let me explain this sticky piston first. So, these normal pistons, they are quite simple. They just push the blocks out when the slime triple retracts. But this sticky piston, it retracts the blocks such that the slime triple never grabs the block, basically. So let's just fire the triples first. So we have this, then we have this. Oh, there we go. So you can see the slime triple fully extends. Nice. Now we're going to hang on. Okay. So now we're going to fire the folded double circuit here. So basically we extend this. What? I don't know what happened. Anyways, so we extend this and then do the folded double, basically. So I'll just place a piston here right now. Excuse me. There we go. So this piston is here now. And the folded double circuit will also activate the singles and the sides. So I'm going to extend the singles like so, I guess. And I guess these, but you know, yeah, there we go. So it's going to extend the singles like this. Not really this piston. This piston actually belongs to your side, but I guess I'm just going to power it like that. So I'm not going to touch the sides now because the sides itself, you have to replace the block, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, so after doing all of these, now we can finally start the other side. So this is going to retract. I'm just butting it because I don't want to power this piston. So this will retract this block first. And yes. So now we are going to basically fire this again. This will handle the triple retraction, the slime triple retraction, but currently does nothing. So yeah, the block also gets extended. And at the same time, we're also going to extend this. So yeah. Oh, come on. Okay. And then obviously the folded double will fire. As long as the single right here. This is looking weird because for later wirings, I guess. Yeah, anyways, so now you can just consider these gets extended. So yeah, okay. Before I miss this, oh come on. Okay, before I miss this, the folded double circuit will also power these two pistons right here, though they really don't do anything right now because the blocks aren't here. So anyways, Uh, to finish off the door, this piston will extend the block back, and also fires this piston to extend the block. See, so this is now flush. Same thing as for the other side. So let me see. I'm just going to place an observer. Oh, come on. Yep, there we go. And then, oh no. I guess so. I guess I'm just going to consider it like that. So that's the closing. So okay. Actually, when this block pushes back, this will also do an extra 2 tick, just because of how the door works. But it's highly unnecessary here. And this piston will only extend, like it will only power during the opening, but not like the closing, because you know it will break the door. Like it would make the slime triple not work. So yeah, we have a toggle to control this. So that's basically the sequence. Let me see if I missed anything. Yep, no, I didn't. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the opening. So the opening, the sequence is actually almost exactly the same. So first off, this piston retracts, and you can see that this updates this observer and powers these 2 pistons and retract these blocks. So that's how you get the retraction. Nice and simple. This is going to retract the block. Oh, come on. I didn't intend to do this. And this will do another 2 tick again. Not really necessary. Now we're going to do this. And then this here. So these will retract now. So you can see these blocks follow to retract by the sticky pistons. And yeah, you can also see why we need to update this observer, because or else the blocks will be left out here. Now we're going to do the fold double, I guess. So once again, this here, and then well, I actually forgot to do this pulse. I'm sorry. So this here, and then the folded double circuit. I'm not going to bother to do it, so I'm just going to place the piston here again, and this will also retract the singles like so. So, and now this piston fires, and this piston also fires, so it retracts the block now. Once again, these two have to extend it, like have to pulse at the same time, like so. Also this will also pulse at the same time, but it does nothing now. And then once again, we're going to fire the folded double circuit, so it will retract the block here, and this will also retract the single, obviously. So like so. And the folded double circuit will also power these 2 pistons. So now these blocks will be pushed back out, like so. So for the final moves, as you all know, this here will push the block back. This here will do another 2 tick, but is again not useful. This here will push the block, obviously. And now the slide piston at last. So that is the general sequence of the door. So as the other half. Now you might be wondering why this sequence to be exact. The answer is quite simple. This is the easiest way to wire the door. The reason behind the unsynced animation, like you can see, like this. So yeah, one side and then the other side powers. So as the opening. Sorry for the lag, I guess. There we go. So yeah. The reason for the unsynced animation of the door is because of the order of the pistons that needed to be fired. So these normal pistons can only fire, or they have to fire after the slime triple fully retracts, and it will be best to get it from the fold double, because it's the closest and we can delay the fold double at this side. For the other side, this fold double fires the sides, like this side, again because it is the closest where we can take an output. The main challenge of this door is basically to parent everything out before working on it, and to take outputs and reuse components efficiently. I don't blame if the explanation for a sequence doesn't make sense at all, as it does take time to fully understand this door, and also my explanation skills aren't that well, I guess. So I suggest to just play around with the door and look for the timings of the door to get a better understanding of it. But yeah, that is basically the sequence explained. So now I'm going to explain the folded double first, as the components are reused quite a lot on other circuits as well. So let's go straight to it. You see, this is the folded double. Yes. So, uh, so yeah, this is the folded double circuit. Basically, along with some single extenders here, like you see. You can see that yourself. So we can see that in action now. Let's see it open as well. So you might notice some circuits are colored in lime like this here instead of cyan. So yeah, that is because the lime circuit isn't actually part of the door, but rather to show you how it is connected in general, because connecting it with the circuits in the actual door would make it harder to understand the door. So that's why I just use some add-on circuits that aren't part of the door, just to give you a clear understanding, because or else we have to add a lot of other stuff that are unnecessary for the door, for like the component to work, but is used just for the connection, which it isn't logical to include that, I guess. So anyways, for the folded double, there are two main parts. One is to remove this door frame block. Two is the actual firing of the folded double here. So we can see the general concept of how to wire the folded double. So for this folded double closest to the input, I use a hopper ROM, which has 6 snowballs in it, and it's lagging. There we go. So 6 snowballs in it. So you can see it in action. It's quite boring actually. So we can add a piston to see. So these two are joined together. So and yes, this uses a hopper ROM, but the rest of the 3 folded doubles are controlled by burnouts with redstone lamp, which again show you yes, here. So if I update this burnout, so I can include a piston here to show you. There we go. So you can see the piston also fires whenever the piston is here. sorry, I'm referring to script. Yes. Okay, so yeah, I basically explained a thing where I explained it in the sequence, actually, but I typed that in the full double as well. So okay, I guess now we're going to go on to the uh, actual folded double circuit. So um, which one would be better? Screw it. Let's just see what this there. Oh, come on. So we first fire this back piston, then use a folded double circuit to finish the rest of the folded double basically. So this here, and the opening is the same. So yeah, you can see like that. So yes, basically power this back piston, and the folded double circuit is actually just this dust, this observer, and this block, and then any updates here, really. So this circuit is first introduced on my channel when I built the 576 block 6x6 cave door, and I brought this concept to this trapdoor, which is the reason I resumed working on this door after a half-year break. So for two of the doubles, this is done with a, where is it? Yep, there you go. This is done with a 4-tick, and it's like a 4-tick detecting. This observer will fire twice because of the 4-tick. So two of them. So this one and this one, I believe. So we can see here. Yep, correct. 4-tick, 4-tick. So we can see that in action. So yeah, there we go. And okay, so for the first pulse that is needed to power the back piston, this is automatically done right here. This observer powers the block and like powers the piston through a bot. It will get updated by the node block to power it. So this is also using the other side here. So yes, I guess you can see first. Yep, there we go. So this is for these two. This one, this one. Though I didn't put the circuit here because to show you clearly how this circuit works. So yeah, you can see it. A 40k and a 40k. So this is how these two folded doubles work. But the remaining two folded doubles actually uses a redstone block instead. Redstone block. God damn it, what am I saying? Redstone lamp. So, so where is it? I get confused sometimes. This is done in such a way because really there's no better way to power it like this. This also helps with the slime triple, which I will show later. So basically, we can see that in action right now. So you can see this piston also acts as a updated piston, so we don't have to worry about the updating because this works. So yeah. Okay. Now, in case if you actually haven't watched my 6x6 cave explanation, which Yep. Anyways, so in case you haven't watched it, let me quickly explain like how the circuit works. Like how does this dust and then this block here does basically the entire folded double automatically. First you need to know the concepts of racing condition first. So in here, this means that okay, let me actually just fly to this here. Yeah, okay. This means that the piston that gets pushed into place. Oh, come on. Thank you. The piston that gets pushed into place will always fire first before the back piston if you fire it quick enough. So it will always fire the front piston first, and when it retracts, it fires the back piston. So front piston, back piston. So there's no locationality nor directionality issues here. So even though it looks like it, because you know we are powering it through a block, as well as here, we're powering through a block, and it seems like it's directly powering back piston first, but actually it powers the front first. The front always have a higher priority than the back. So by providing this circuit here with a double pulse, it will do the rest of the moves basically. So the singles are rather simple. The single is simply getting okay. So the singles, I guess I'm just going to show you for each case. So this single here is directly getting power from this observer here. This also connects to this piston here, which will power this piston through an observer. So, and the other single right here, this is an interesting one. So this piston basically acts as a toggle to convert this double pulse into single pulse. So this piston won't fire twice, basically. So it will extend block, and it will also retract. So that is how the singles work. And I actually forgot to add in this here, but there is also one right here. Yes. This is self-explanatory. When this piston retracts this observer, it will do a single pulse, but when it extends back, it will do a double pulse. As you see right here. Oh, I focused the wrong thing. That's an embarrassment. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So this is this single here. Technically, this belongs to the side, but I guess I'm just going to explain it here before I forgot, or I forget. So I believe that's everything explained for the double circuit. Now we will move on to the sides, which it might look simple, but it does have some interesting and surprising complications which make it work. So the sides, yes, this is the sides. The sides, honestly, look quite simple. Let's see the sides in action first. So again, this line circuit is included in the actual door, but I'm just adding it for demonstration purposes and for you to understand it easily. So there you go. We can already see that it make use of this folded double here as an output to the sides, which basically just give you the concept of how important the folded double is. The size itself is rather simple. In fact, this box-shaped circuit, or I can show you here, this box-shaped circuit is actually the entire powering layout for the sides. All you need to do is just to power the dust at correct timing. A side note is that, as I mentioned before, these droppers will be buttered naturally, just like the buttered droppers for the bottom doubles, uh, like the bottom double for example, my 6x6 door. But you just, but for the bottom double, you have to manually butt them. Uh, these note blocks here are just to prevent any locationality issues, because I have one copy on my door, which the side just doesn't work, but as soon as I added a note block here, it works. So this door is not going to be 1.11 plus. So yeah, for the sides to work, I basically need a single pulse and then a quick double pulse. So you get it from like the back of the piston, for example. So there are multiple solutions to powering the sides actually. So I can use this no lock technique right here. Or I can use the observer technique here. Yeah, there we go. The observer technique actually has two variants, so I didn't use this, but I used this in the actual door instead. However, one thing to notice is that this piston must be powered via 5 tick poles and use an observer to detect and to give 2 signals, which is basically the minimum, and it's distant enough for the sides to work, otherwise it'd be too fast. So this 3 tick and a lamp thing is basically a 5-tick generator, and when I power it, you see the sides work perfectly. But not a 4-tick to an observer. So if I power it like here, you see it messes up the sides quite a lot. So even if I were to reset it, oh, this works, but I don't know why. Jesus. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, you can see the extension really messes up quite a lot. Okay, if I can, there we go. Anyways, so the extension really messes up. So, yeah, not a 4-tick with an observer to power this, because it is actually not distant enough for the 2 pulses. But in the actual door, this piston is actually powered with a 4-tick to an observer. So this is equivalent to an observer here, instead of a 5-tick to an observer. So why? Like I can even show you in action. So completely a 4-tick. So why does that work here, but not in the testing layout like I showed it here? The answer is quite simple. What you need to notice is that this piston, which belongs to the folded double, will actually update this observer early, and it will, like this piston will retract the observer before it is able to give us a second pulse. This observer will only give 1 pulse actually, because of the timings. So as a result, a single pulse is given. When the observer is extended back, it gives a double pulse naturally. So as the single pulse is fired earlier than it's intended to, the size will actually work. So yeah, some of you might wonder if it matters to add solid blocks on top of this observer, as it may butt the piston below. And the answer is no, it doesn't matter. The observer actually never gets a chance to power the piston below through a butt. So I guess we can see it here if I were to add blocks here. You can see the door works perfectly fine, so it doesn't really matter. So that is the sides explained. Hopefully you understand it. So now let's get on to the slime triples. Right here. So this is the bare bones of the slime triples, and I guess let's see it in action, as per usual. Let's see, open as well. There we go. So there is one important thing to notice. That is that this sticky piston with an observer is required for the layout to work. So just bear that in mind. The slime triple uses some cool tricks. First is that it actually make use of the folded double circuit to do the two ticking of the piston. You can see it in this scrap module here. So right here. Don't worry about the burnout because it works exactly the same. We can see that when this sticky piston fires, it will update the piston below. That is getting butted by this observer through a block, so I just use a barrier instead. So you can see it right here. The opening as well. Well, actually, just to remove that block. So yes, this helps a lot as I don't need an extra circuit to do the two tick, because this automatically does it for me, which saves me quite a lot of space and time, and reduces the concern of not enough space, like not having enough space to do the rest of the poses. Another trick I use is actually this slider right here. So on both sides, basically. So the problem with the slime triple is that I cannot fire this piston right here through a block. Like, if we go to the layout here, right here. Oh, come on. I even messed up the layout. Anyways, so you cannot fire this right here. Because it messes up. Like, this piston will fire and it messes up the closing. So now I have to reset it. This, yep, there we go. So the slider proved to be useful because you know, I can literally just have observers that faces upwards to power this piston efficiently. It's also useful as it also helped the folded double when the slider pushes back. So when the slider, so I guess we can see that here. And I forgot to, actually never mind. Okay, So this is the extension. You see that this piston fires this piston. So when the slider pushes back, or actually, uh, yeah, when the slider pushes back, this observer fires the redstone block. Oh my god, I said redstone block again. I mean redstone lamp. And fires this redstone lamp, which it fires this piston obviously, but it also fires this here. This is actually the full double circuit, as you may recognize it. So yeah, it's actually quite useful, and yeah. And I said this sticky piston is easier to do it in my case, and the direct reason is the slider. Basically, well, not actually the slider, but partially, I guess the fold double. The fold double is the main reason, because as you may know, I need to fire this first, the first pulse first. So if you were to recognize it, this is the layout. Oops, I probably. Oh god damn it. Yeah. Oops. Anyways, so as you may see, I need to fire this pulse first, and basically the slider would power through this redstone lamp and power this piston right here. So it's useful. It also powers this piston here. So it is easier for my case. Is because if we were to have a normal piston, actually, then so I guess we'll just do that again. So if we were to have this as a normal piston, then this observer and this observer will push to here and here, which will fire both these pistons at the same time. If this were to be a normal piston, then this block will be here, this block is here, then this line cannot be retracted by this piston, as this normal piston would be blocking it. And that's why a sticky piston is easy in my case. So yeah, it's the best and the simplest option. We also don't have to worry about when the block will be extended back, because like if we were to have a long piston, then like you know the block will be here, and we don't have to worry about like when this will get extended, because we do have to time this slider piston. So we by changing this to a sticky piston, we don't have to worry about the times, because this will instantly get extended when the slime extender the slime triple retracts. So even though this isn't really a concern, because the slider piston actually fires extremely late. A minor issue is that when changing this piston to a sticky piston, we always have to fire these two pistons simultaneously, and it really isn't an issue because the slider will make sure they both fire at the same time. So, yeah, that's the problem solved. So, also I actually forgot to do this first. I always forgot it. So, okay, so after oh god, I haven't even this. Okay, anyways, so let's pretend we have done that. So this side will extend right here, does nothing. This will extend, retracts the blocks, I mean. And when this slider pushes, this will extend, this will retract, obviously. And you can see that the folded double circuit automatically fires these two pistons, so that's really useful. Because we can simply get an output from the folded double circuit just to fire these two pistons. So, as I mentioned before, this slider piston can only be activated during the opening, so we have a toggle, like something like this, and at the opening, it will just push the slider back. So, okay, so I guess one last thing to notice, which is more of a concept, is that it is quite necessary to fire this piston first rather than this one. So if we see in the actual door, you can see that we fired this piston here first, and then this one. It's actually quite important to do it this way, because this side here has to control a fold double, and to fit in a burnout right here. I actually have no space, but to fit in here, and a toggle right here, which is actually quite a lot to work with. So it's actually better to have the entire slime triple to be concentrated on this side. So yeah, because I can't. So you can see this side is actually quite cramped as well. So also I probably okay, anyways, so that is basically the principle of the slime triple fully explained. Although I should also explain how the principle is adapted to the door. For the slider piston on this side, so I'm just going to show you the special parts of it. This is actually controlled by the sides, and this piston actually fires 3 times on both close and the opening. So if we see it here, so you can see that this piston extends, retracts, and extends, but actually the last 2 pulses are too fast to power this piston, so that it will never get fired, basically. So yeah, that is the case. So another awkward circuitry is this side over here. This folded double circuit actually has an observer here, down here, just to fire this piston through a dust here, which will also fire the slider piston. And the reason I do that is just because to fit in more delay to fire this piston. I actually have no other way to do it. So I just did it in such an awkward way. Yeah. This means that I just need to add more delay here to extend the piston, so you can see there's an extra 2 tick here. And this here, it doesn't need an extra 2 tick. Actually, it's a 3 tick, not a 2 tick. Anyways, so we just need some extra delay. here, like on this side here. So yeah. Okay, so last but not least, as I said before, the folded double circuit makes use of burnouts with redstone lamp mainly for the pulling and pushing of this block. Yeah. Uh, and this is actually done by the slime triple for 2 of them. So we have 1 over here, but we have 2. 1 at here, as I said before. 1 at here, the same place. Uh, so in for the closing, this block will get pushed into here, such as this here. So the door frame block will be here to activate the burnout, which will link to the 4 double circuits. But I also need to fire the opening, so this solution is actually quite simple. All I need to do is just to have this observer here and then fire this piston, which will activate the burnout itself. So just add a sticky piston and the burnout will automatically activate. So that is basically some awkward parts of this door, and I thought that I should explain it. So that is the entire door explained. I'm sorry if my explanation is quite bad. I always have to refer to scripts, but this is just to give you uh, more details and information, and to make sure I don't left out some information that I should explain to you. So, if it doesn't make sense, again, sorry, because this door does require a lot of planning to minimize the use of space. So, uh, you do have to plan a lot and to get to invent a sequence just to power this door. Like, to have, yeah. So you can always download the world and play with the circuits yourself to learn more about this door and how reusing stuff helps for compact doors like this. So yeah, you can see the folded double circuit it is used quite a lot on other circuits. Other circuits relies on it very heavily. So uh, if I left out any details, hopefully I would remember and put it in the description below. So make sure to check that as well. So, but anyways, thank you for watching this explanation video, and I'll see you in the next one.